Hey guys, it's Helen. As you can probably tell by the title, I am here to help you guys with high school. Now, I am 15 and I've just finished my freshman year, and although I haven't had too much high school experience, like I'm not a senior or anything, I know enough so that, I could give you advice. So I wrote down things here in this notebook about just general tips, social life tips, academic tips, just anything to help y'all get through high school. And this is not just for freshmen. I mean, incoming freshmen, this will help y'all a lot, but even if you're a sophomore or junior, sticking to these tips will just help you so much more. So I hope you guys enjoy. So first of all, I'm just going to give some general freshman tips for incoming freshmen. The first tip is don't skip orientation. I know you're just like, I don't really want to go to that. It's stupid, and all you do is get your schedule and go to your classes and don't do anything. But it's actually really important because when you go to orientation, you go to all your classes and you get your final schedule. So even if you got your schedule during the summer, they give you your final schedule. So you go to your classes and the teachers are going to tell you what you're going to need for the school year and the syllabus. And that's really important because sometimes I went shopping, or last year I went shopping before orientation, and that was not a good idea because I just got way too many things, or I got all the wrong things for classes. So just wait till your teachers tell you what you need to bring before you go shopping. And that's another thing, is just bring like a pencil and a notebook to write things down in so that you know what to bring. And just write things down that your teachers say on the first day of school or orientation. Just so you know. For the first week of school, be outgoing. So for high school, it's obviously a lot different than middle school. I mean, your friends they're probably gonna be there, but you're gonna make new friends. So just know that it's really hard to make friends if you're shy in high school. You really want to make a good impression because people will only want to be friends with people who are outgoing, or, even if you're not the most outgoing person, at least be friendly, or just don't try to push away people who try to talk to you, just say hi and things and everything will be fine. Another tip for making friends is join a summer activity, club, or sport so you know people when you're going into school. So maybe you could join, at my school I know we have conditioning camp. I did that last year and I made a ton of friends through it, even though it was kind of horrible because conditioning and I'm not sporty, so, but it's a great way to make friends. Or if you are in the sport, that would be a great way to just know friends already going into high school. So that's a good tip. Just for your attitude going into high school, don't act overly confident. I know some people, when I was going into high school, were just like, I'm too cool for school, I've been doing this since I was 2, all the cool kind of stuff. But just be yourself. Don't try to act cool, but don't be all shy and be like, oh my gosh, I'm a freshman, I don't know what to do. Just be cool and everything will be fine. Okay, now that we've gone over general freshman tips, we're gonna move on to your social life. Now, first things first, dating is going to be your lowest priority. Going into high school, for me, I thought that dating was, oh my gosh, I'm gonna find my husband here, I'm gonna date and have a boyfriend and, goals and all that stuff. Don't listen to that kind of stuff. You can have a boyfriend if you want to, or a girlfriend, but it does not matter, and in the long run, you're there to learn and do school, so don't even worry if you don't have a boyfriend. No one's gonna be like, oh my gosh, you're single, what the heck, it's not a big deal. Another thing for social life is go to all your school events, and that means sports events mostly for my school. Pep rallies, we all have to go to that since it's during school, but just if it's not required for your school, just go to those. And definitely go to homecoming. I know it's really fun. It might not be your thing, because I know they play a lot of rap music and some people are uncomfortable, but I mean, actually at my homecoming, the majority of the people like went into our atrium, which is just a giant open space, and they just talked and played poker and that kind of stuff. And so even if you go to homecoming, you don't have to dance, you can just talk and hang out with your friends. So I would just recommend going to all the sports. They're so hyped up, and they're just a great way to make friends, and you know, school spirit is very important, you know, I don't know, it's just so fun. And if you just want to not do your homework on Fridays, go to volleyball games. I know my school won the state for volleyball, so that was so fun to just go to the games and, you know, root for our school. So, you know, just do that. Next thing is to join a sport or club to make friends easily, but that does not mean you have to, because you can definitely make friends just through classes. I have like probably 10 friends I know just from classes, and they're one of my really good friends. They're some of my really good friends, so, you know, don't worry about like, oh my gosh, I'm not a sporty person, or like I'm not good at it. You know, you don't have to join something, but I know it's really useful for me to just make friends right off the bat, but you don't have to, so that's just another tip. Another thing about friendships, don't force them. I know you're gonna want to make a ton of friends going into school, and that's something I totally encourage. You know, you want to make friends, but if people just want to talk to you during school, I mean, you know, there's like some people that are like people that you talk to just at school, and then there's people that you hang out with outside of school. So I just wouldn't force like acquaintances at school to hang out with you after school or something like that. I mean, there's going to be close friends of yours who you hang out with all the time after school, but there's just going to be some friendships where you can't force them to hang out with you all the time, and you're not just going to have a ton of friends to hang out with. So don't be worried if every single one of your friends at school is like busy, or you're just not hanging out after school. I mean, having friends at school is great too, so just don't worry about it. Next thing is people change, and you're gonna need to let it go sooner or later. I'm just mentioning this because of the transition to middle school into high school. I know that my friends from middle school just kind of like vanished going into high school, but don't worry. I mean, I'm still friends with one of my friends, Shannon. She goes to another school than me, but we're still really good friends, so don't worry about, you know, I mean, if you want to stay in contact with that person, then do it. Like, I'm not saying that, oh my gosh, you will never see them again. I mean, I'm just saying that you're gonna need to work harder if you're gonna maintain friendships from middle school. Because people, once they get into high school, they're gonna realize their priorities, they're gonna change, they're gonna get new moral standards, you know, they're just gonna, I mean, just let them change. I mean, they may change for the better or for the worse, but, I mean, my advice to you is to just go with the flow and be with people who make you happy, and if those people are your middle school friends, then that's cool, but I would definitely recommend making new friends as well. Don't dump your middle school friends for new friends as well, because that will just hurt their feelings, but if they're just poison to your life, then cut them out, obviously. So, next thing about, you know, bad people and all that stuff is don't feel the need to smoke or drink if you don't want to, because literally no one will care if you say no. And by this, I mean just like people will put on their Snapchat stories, you know, like at parties or whatever, like vaping or whatever. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine, that's your life, but don't feel the need to do it just to be cool, because it's really like no one will care if you don't do it. So just focus on your own life and what makes you happy and what you want to do with your life. So just don't let anyone else, you know, mix up with your moral standards. You know what I'm saying? The next thing, I kind of already said it, but make the right friends right off the bat. I mean, don't go through high school having wrong friends for like a whole semester, because you're going to regret that. Just already have good friends, and if let's say if you make friends over the summer or during the first week of school that you like, but then you figure out are like, you know, making bad decisions, then don't hang out with them anymore. Don't worry, it's not going to be that big of a deal if you stop hanging out with them. You're going to be able to find new friends. Next thing, stay out of groups with a lot of drama. That's pretty self-explanatory. Don't start drama. That's another thing. Next, don't care what people think about you. Okay, if you want to eat pizza and french fries during lunch, do it. Don't let anyone stop you, because I know there's people who just eat salads or like, you know, healthy stuff. I mean, that's totally cool, but I mean, just don't let people stop you from doing what you want to do, and if you want to smoke, then do it. I mean, just don't let anyone change you if that's what makes you happy. The next thing, you do not need a date for homecoming. I cannot stress this enough, because when I was going into homecoming this year, I was just like, oh my gosh, am I not gonna have a date? Like, this is so stressful, you know, like all this kind of stuff. But literally going with your friends is so much more fun than going with a date, because if you have a date, I mean, it's still very fun if you're friends with them, but if you don't know them very well, it's not gonna be fun. So just go with people you're comfortable with, and don't say yes to a date unless you're comfortable with going with them. So that's another tip. Wear as much or as little makeup as you want. This kind of goes with don't care what people think about you, but pretty much at my school there's people who wear like a lot of makeup. Like, I mean, I kind of do, but that's kind of my thing, you know. Like, I've been wearing it since the beginning of the school year, so people are not like, oh my gosh, she's suddenly wearing like a ton of makeup, you know. But I mean, don't feel obligated to wear a bunch of makeup, or don't feel obligated to wear no makeup at all, you know. Just do whatever you want to do, and whatever makes you feel confident, that's what you do. And if people are like, I mean, there's gonna be some guys that are just like, that girl is wearing so much makeup, like, she's totally fake. Like, just ignore those guys. I mean, people who say that about you, they're not your real friends, so just do what makes you happy. Next thing is, don't be afraid to go to the counselor if you need it. This goes for emotional things, academic things, just anything you need help with. Your counselors will be totally understanding, and literally you can get out of class to go to your counselor, and you won't get like a tardy or anything. So also, if you need to do your homework, you can go to your counselor and say, hey, I gotta do my homework, and they will let you sit in their office while you do your homework. So, you know, just go to your counselor to do whatever you need to do. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to talk about is academics. So the first thing is, be respectful to your teachers, because nothing is more annoying than guys or girls who think it's necessary to just be rude or say comments to their teachers that are just like irrelevant to the class. I mean, you might get a few laughs, but like all in all, it's just not gonna help you. I mean, it depends on the teacher though, because if they're like a strict teacher, then literally don't do it. But you know, if they're like, I have this teacher that's like 20 years old, or like in his 20s, and it's kind of funny to mess around with him, but I mean, be respectful to the extent that they are, you know, that they're your superior, so don't, you know, don't mess around with them too much. Next thing, take advantage of extra credit opportunities. This will save your life, literally. If you are having a B or C in a class and you really want to get to that higher grade, then do extra credit, do everything you can, because I know if you do study guides in some of my classes, they will give you extra credit for it. So just make sure to do that. It will totally help you in the end, and even if you don't need it, just do it just in case you get a bad grade later, then you'll thank yourself. So always do it. Next, don't procrastinate. Pretty self-explanatory. I know I really didn't follow this rule at all this year, but you know, I just gotta say that. Next, make practice tests to study from, because when it comes to finals, if you have all of your practice tests from like all year, then it's gonna be so much easier to make a giant, like, cumulative giant practice test if you just already have them made. So just every single chapter you have, try to make something, it doesn't have to be huge, but just maybe some flashcards or something small, or just something to help you, that will help you remember, or just, I don't know, make a Quizlet or something. Next, use Quizlet constantly. Okay, you're going to need to sit at a desk and listen to music in the background when you're studying, and Quizlet will just save your life. I'm just saying that right now. If you make Quizlets for all your tests, like going through flashcards, it's so helpful, and I just can't like say anything more about it. It's just amazing. Just go to Quizlet.com and, you know, just make some flashcards online. There are practice tests. It's amazing. Just use it all the time. It'll help you so much. Next thing, take responsibility for your homework and missed work. Teachers in high school are not gonna be like, you missed this, this is your homework. Well, I mean, they're gonna tell you your homework, but like, take responsibility. I mean, if you got sick one day and you missed work, they're not gonna be like, hey, you missed this. Like, you have to go up to them and take responsibility and be like, hey, what did I miss? Or email them or something like that. But you're just going to need to take a lot more responsibility and be able to do your homework, because if you don't do it, you're gonna get a 0, and that's gonna drop your GPA like a lot. So just don't miss any of your homework assignments, even if it's something small like grammar. I know I missed a few grammar assignments in English, and even though it was a small grade, it still affected me. So just make sure to do every single homework assignment you are assigned. Next thing, it is time to start focusing on college and life. So sign up for scholarly opportunities. So you may be thinking, Helen, I'm a freshman or a sophomore, you know, in high school. Why do I need to be thinking about, you know, like what I'm gonna do in life and like college right now? Like, I'll wait till I'm a junior. Okay, you can do that, but it's just so much easier if you just take a moment to think about what you want for college and for your life. Because if you set a goal early on in the semester or in the school year, it's going to be so much more easy for you to achieve that goal throughout high school. If your goal is just like to pass or something like that, then you'll know that you won't need to have these huge expectations or be in the National Honor Society or something like that. But if your goal is to get into Harvard, or if you want to just, I mean, not Harvard, but you know, like if you want to get into a really good college, or if you want a certain like medical degree later on in life, I mean, you're gonna need to measure how much you're gonna want to study and work hard in high school. So just know what you want to do and just set goals every single year and just try to go for that goal. I mean, my goal was to get all A's, and I did that, and it was just so fulfilling to me. And just know, set a goal and do it. Next thing is to find yourself and what you might want to do with your life. That kind of tied in with the last one, but I mean, just setting a goal will just help you so much more, so that you can make a checklist of things you need to do beforehand, so you're prepared, and so you have enough on your resume that you are qualified for that position, if you know what I mean. So like, if you're going to Harvard, or if you want to go to Harvard, you're not just gonna like be a B student, you know, like you're gonna want to get like be the top 1 or 2% in your class. You're gonna want to have a lot of extracurriculars, you know, you're gonna want to be prepared. So I mean, it's different if you're just wanting to pass, you know, it's different, but just know what you want to do so that you're prepared and that you're qualified for whatever you want to do. Next tip, this is really helpful for me, is sit in the front of the classroom for your hardest classes. You might be thinking, like, that is such a dorky thing to do, like, why would you sit in the front? Like, that's where nerds sit. But I mean, if you want to get help with your classes, you're going to need to sit in the front, because I sat in the front in biology, and I literally sucked in science in 8th grade, and in freshman year, I got 100 in biology because I sat in the front and I listened, and I took notes the way I was supposed to, and that's what really helped me. I mean, in my other classes, I sat in the middle or in the back, but it's a lot easier to get distracted if you sit back there. So just make sure you sit in the front if you're struggling with class, because it will help you 100 times more. I promise. Like, don't worry about what people say, or if you're like a nerd or anything. Like, don't worry. Just do what you need to do to get to your goal. Next thing, stay organized. Like, don't have an everything folder that you just put all of your papers and your tests and everything in, because that's just don't do it, okay? No. Next thing, hang out with smart people. Okay, this might seem like really bad, but all my friends, they're actually really smart, and it helped me so much because they're actually, a lot of them are in all honors, and if I need help with my homework, they're basically like teachers or tutors to me. Like, even though they're like my best friends and I can hang out with them and I can have fun with them, it's super nice to have them as tutors and also so they can help me. So if you're not the best of student, try to hang out with smarter people just to help you, and also it'll help you make friends with some higher standards, you know, like hang out with people that make you a better person. So I recommend hanging out with smarter people. It'll just help you in the long run. So yeah. Being smart is not lame. Okay, in middle school, sometimes people will be like, oh, you get like super good grades and I don't know, like you get hundreds on all your tests, you study too hard, you nerd. Like, no, like being smart in high school is cool. Like, people will be like, oh my gosh, she's so accomplished, or he's so accomplished. You know, like if you're in National Honor Society or something, people will be like, oh my gosh, look at her, she's really like getting things done in life. So I mean, if you're smart, be proud of it and just, you know, like own it, because it's awesome to be smart and it's just something that's going to get you ahead in life. And you know, if people judge you for it in high school, just know that you're going to be smarter than them in life, and just you're going to know so much more, so just don't worry about it. And the last thing I have to say for this entire video is to relax. Have a positive attitude on life and on high school, because if you just go in there stressed and you have like, you're just micromanaging every single thing, then you're just gonna get stressed out so easily. And basically just take a deep breath, enjoy high school, and don't stress about it too much. If you screw up your freshman year, it's okay. What I'm saying is, if you try your best and you're struggling a little bit, then that's okay. What matters is that you're doing what you want to do, what makes you happy, and what helps you reach your goals in life. So just make sure that you're having a good time, relaxing, but also staying focused in school. So basically, just it's based on your own experience. I mean, high school's not going to be like super like fun games for everyone, but it's so fun. I promise you, like, it's just based on your own experience. Like, it might be fun for you, but you have to make it fun. So just make sure you have a positive outlook, because that will just make your day and your whole life 100% better. Just take everything with a grain of salt, and just make sure that you just have a positive outlook. So this has been my very, very long video on high school. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry if I've been rambling on forever, but I feel the need to help out my fellow classmates and freshmen that are coming to me, because there are some things I didn't know as a freshman that I really need to know. But anyway, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe to me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!